Hey folks, welcome back to Gaming Garbage, where we take a look at games, chat about the gaming news, the industry, and of course, stream for fun. Today, we're talking about Nintendo's new patent that they've just got approved for. So they already had submitted it, but I don't think anyone had caught that. But yeah, they got approved officially, like this week or last week at some point. So this was updated September 11th and posted September 11th. Yeah, this is kind of crazy. This is by IGN, but this is kind of insane. So here's the actual patent number. And this is while still the litigation is going on with the lawsuit with PalWorld and Nintendo and Game Freak, Pokemon Company. And yeah, it's very much like, very reminiscent of the Pokemon games where you can summon a monster, how you summon that monster, how data is calculated within the system and stuff, and automatic battling and commands and all of this kind of stuff, which is reminiscent of the old stuff and also probably the current game as well with Pokemon Legends ZA that's about to come out in October. But yeah, this is the official patent number, and we'll take a look at some of the diagrams when we read through some of the summary here. But yeah, I mean, in my opinion, Nintendo knows that they're not winning this, and so they have filed another patent, the last couple of years, probably after PalWorld was actually already launched. It became very successful very, very quickly with like over 20 million copies sold, which is crazy. And I think they're on version 0.6, and 0.7 is going to be coming fairly soon. And then, yeah, they're looking toward the official release of 1.0 probably sometime next year. But this is kind of wild. So there must be a PC or console or other computing device, and the game is stored on a drive or similar storage medium. Secondly, you can move a character into a virtual space. You must be able to summon a character. This would be like a sub-character, which means it's not the current player that you're playing, but for example, a little monster such as a Pokemon that the player character has at their disposal. And then the logic branches out, which, yeah, we'll kind of go over that a little bit with the diagrams if I remember. And then this is about summoning the sub-character in a place where they are already is another character that it will then, when instructed to do so, will fight, right? So it's got to be close to an intended target that you want to fight or therefore capture, like in Pokemon. This alternative scenario is about summoning the sub-character at a position where there's no other character to fight freely. And then the final step is about sending the sub-character in a direction and then letting an automatic battle ensue with another character. It is not clear whether this is even needed if one previously executed step number 4, where the sub-character will basically be thrown at another character. So, yeah, this is kind of insane because this is really specific for one, which I'm thankful for, because they have to be specific with the patent. But yeah, some people don't agree that this patent should even exist, even some patent lawyers, because this is so broad and overreaching. And as they mentioned in the article, this digs into similar mechanics like in Persona, Digimon, and even Elden Ring. And I would say, too, of course, PalWorld, Animo, and anything else, basically, or like necromancy, maybe in I'm drawing a blank. I can't believe it. Like Elder Scrolls or like Diablo or something like that. I mean, anything where you can basically summon an NPC character to automatically fight for you or even take commands. Because this really digs into a lot of different games. I mean, you take time to think, and it's actually a lot. It's not specific to who the sub character is. It doesn't have to be a Pokemon. Doesn't have to be an animal. It could be a robot. It could be a tool, another humanoid. It could be anything, really, in a video game. So yeah, this is just ultimately pretty disgusting. Now, the Japan Patent Office has also granted Nintendo the patent. So this is in the U.S. office and also in Japan. And this is pretty disgusting. And we know too that let's see, where is it? We know too that Nintendo is now also able they have their patent for smooth switching of writing objects mechanism. This lastly successful filing now joined a suit of other patents owned by the Japanese company. And then also the capture item, like a Pokeball. So yeah, everything that they had filed so far, they're actually starting to get those other patents. And Pocket Pair has already improved and changed some things. But all three major patents were filed in 2024 after PalWorld came out. However, they were actually derived from earlier Nintendo patents dating back in 21. In other words, it seems that once PalWorld came onto the scene, Nintendo filed divisional patents that were geared to fight specifically against PalWorld's alleged infringement of the original patents. And yes, I absolutely believe that too. So Pocket Pair, the creators of PalWorld, they've made some changes already over these disputed mechanics. And see, Nintendo could not get Pocket Pair, thus PalWorld, on direct infringement of copyright material, like, hey, you made a Pokemon game, because there was enough that was changed where it wasn't Pokemon. Okay, it was similar, it was heavily inspired, but it wasn't actually Pokemon. So Nintendo didn't have that thing to lean into, so they had to lean into something else, and that is patents. And this is why Nintendo is actually the biggest patenter of any other basically publishing or gaming company. And this is this is kind of insane. And so yeah, they knew they couldn't win that way, so they had to try something else. And so yeah, with November 2024, this patch removed the ability to summon pals by throwing a Pokeball like PalSphere. Now pals just materialize next to you. In May of this year, in 25, another PalWorld update changed how you can glide in the game. Instead of directly grabbing onto glider pals, now you just simply use PAL buffed glider equipment instead. And then in July, Nintendo and the Pokemon Company reworded one of the patents in the case. So again, they're doing everything they can to actually shut PalWorld down. And I think Nintendo, to a degree, they actually thought that this was going to be easy. Because PalWorld, as I say in a previous video, which I'll link that down below if you're interested, PalWorld show where the line was. And this is really troublesome for Nintendo because they have guarded their IPs for so long against content creators and small companies, which Pocket Pair was a small company. Now they're like worth, $500 million, which isn't really that small anymore. But yeah, it's kind of insane because it's like PalWorld show exactly where the line is on copyright infringement. And so Nintendo is now having to do something else. And again, let's actually take a look at this patent here. This is the official document, and I'll remember to link this down below. Here's the abstract, which it's super wordy. But these are kind of the different data that it's going to look at to be able to deal with all this stuff. But again, it very much looks like Pokemon, right? But it has to be extremely detailed. They have to show different stuff with the device, which we can clearly see that this is a Switch 2. It looks like a Switch 2 because we got that extra like C button right there, right? But anyway, let me get to some of the other diagrams. And you'll see, and two, they have to share like how things are going to be computed and all of this stuff, and that's why all of that type of stuff is in there. But yeah, throwing the Pokeball, looking at the information between the different Pokemon or characters, and of course the commands, and then also the ability for it to just engage automatically and automatic movement as well. So again, this is very reminiscent of Pokemon Legends, where if you move, it moves with you, right? And then two, the ability to command to attack or move to a different location, and then also the ability to fight or engage automatically if they're close enough. So yeah, this is really what the patent's for. We know that Pokemon Legends EA is coming out in October, very, very soon. And yeah, they were just granted this. And this is not, of course, the first time that they've done this. I've said before that with other games, they've had other patents filed before. So like with Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, there were several patents that they filed when the game was extremely successful. And like the free-falling patent, pass-through terrain, and the rewind patent. So, patent described a mechanic where Link can perform special actions while falling, such as shooting arrows at targets. And again, that's in other games as well. And then the mechanic also allows Link to pass through solid objects positioned above him, enabling more fluid movement and exploration. Again, I can think of some other games that have that too. And then also the rewind. This feature allows players to reverse the position and orientation of in-game objects. And again, I can think of other games that have that in there. And then when Tears of the Kingdom came out, there were almost basically 30 patents related to Tears of the Kingdom, which related to the building mechanics, which related to some of the other mechanics in the game, and also I think another one was the grapple hook and like all sorts of stuff. So they're taking these patents, and these patents aren't just like 5 or 10 years. Okay, I think at a minimum they're like 15, but a lot of them are around like 20 to 30 years. We have to wait for them to actually expire. It can't be patented again, right? But then when the patent is expired, everyone can actually start using it, which is nice. But yeah, holding the patent gives you the monopoly on this type of mechanic. And again, this is not illegal. You're able to basically patent anything. I mean, there's even a patent for toilet paper. And yes, the patent shows that the toilet paper sheet goes over, not under. But hey, to each their own. So you can literally patent anything. It's not illegal. And the whole reason that patent exists is that if you have a really good idea, it basically can't be stolen, and then you can make money off of it. But this just seems really, really scummy with what they're actually doing, because Nintendo is wanting to not have any competition. They're not wanting to share. They're wanting to monopolize everything that they can, not with just their IPs and intellectual properties, of course, right? But also with game mechanics too. And they're not just doing one or two at a time. They're doing as many as they think is necessary to maintain that monopolization. And then they have takedown notices. They're suing people. They're suing companies. But it's like, if they're going to enforce some of these patents that they already have, are they willing to go against PlayStation and Microsoft and Take-Two Interactive or EA or any of these other games? Again, they always seem to go after small folks and companies that can't really do anything or don't have the funds to draw out with some of this stuff. But I mean, this is what Nintendo's doing, and it's just kind of disgusting. And on top of everything else, it just kind of sucks royally. So this is incredibly frustrating with what they're doing. And yeah, I don't know, with this particular patent, they might actually be able to shut PalWorld down. That would be a huge deal. And this is the new meta. You know, if PalWorld has shown that you can't really protect your intellectual property anymore, that you can be heavily inspired and it's okay, then the next thing is okay to patent the game mechanics so that that stuff can't be created or made anywhere else. Because we've already seen that, you know, not just PalWorld, but now there's other companies making other games. I'll link that video down below. And then also, I'm going to be talking about the presentation, the direct that Nintendo had in September this week, actually. And yeah, there's just some interesting stuff in there that I want to share. So be on the lookout for that. So yeah, this is incredibly, excuse me. This is incredibly frustrating, and it's not something I really want to see as an art form, because yeah, now you're literally taking away the tools from developers to be able to make their games and design them the way that they want. It's like saying, nope, you can't use blue for a particular painting, or you can't use the color black, or you can't use a type of brush to get this particular texture, you know, because I own the patent on that for 20 years. And it's just ridiculous. So, or a particular instrument or type of string to make a type of musical note or frequency or whatever. It just sounds insane. But again, it's legal in video games, and this is exactly what Nintendo is doing. So thanks for tuning in, folks. You can always follow me at Gaming Garbage 22. There's also playlists as well. There's quite a bit of just stuff that I do for the channel. There's gaming news, there's reviews, initial looks, and deep dives in the industry, and did playthroughs as well. And if there's something isn't for you, that's okay. You can just move right on and wait for the next video. Various content comes out weekly. Also, you can follow me too over at Twitch at Don't Turn on the if you'd like. And hey, when I'm playing video games, I'll definitely chat with you guys. But yeah, what do you guys think of this? Because ultimately, there's nothing that can be done to stop Nintendo from doing this unless someone else patents first. And then it's just a patent race, right? Then everybody just wants to patent everything, and that isn't good for the industry either. So that would be one way to fight back against Nintendo. But then again, you know, that's not what we want either. So yeah, there's really no way to stop this, and there's really no way that this really comes out uh, in a good way, because I don't think Nintendo's going to stop. Because if they feel like their other IPs are being threatened, okay, like Mario Party or Advanced Wars or I don't know, Mario Tennis or whatever, then yeah, they're just going to continue and keep going on with stuff like with what they've done with Pokemon and Legend of Zelda, and those are two of their biggest selling IPs. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens. I hope Pocket Pair still wins. We'll have to see, but yeah, this one is really going to be damaging, I think, to the lawsuit, and they just got this approval, so we'll have to see how it goes. I'll keep you guys updated. With that, folks, we'll see you guys on the next one.